Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Anusha. So today we will see the essentials crash course in DevOps and Cloud, your starting point of mastering two of the hottest fields in the IT industry. If you are wondering where do I begin with DevOps and cloud computing, this video is absolutely for you. Consider this your foundation packed with key concepts you need before jumping into advanced topics. Think of it as a shortcut that sets you up for a long term success in your tech career. Let's get started with DevOps tools, the building blocks. So let's first start with that. And we will see each tool, what's the usage of that, and then we'll simply dive into that deeper. As you journey into DevOps, you will meet a variety of powerful tools. What are they? Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Terraform, Git, GitHub, Jenkins, Prometheus, Grafana. So this list can look daunting, right? But don't worry, I'll walk you through a real life scenario as you will see how each tool fits into the bigger picture, right? Let's let's view that scenario. The journey from idea to launch. So what is this? Every big project kicks off a simple idea. Imagine you are building a website to book tickets to Mars. No more queues, no more high prices. You start coding, and soon your first version runs locally on your laptop. So imagine you have created a page. The page might look like this, and http colon slash slash localhost colon 8080. So you have developed. So what this will do, you have built a website to book tickets to Mars. No more queues, no more high prices. You started coding, and soon your first version runs locally on your laptop. Testing locally is great for early development, but if you want your app accessible 24 by 7, you need to deploy it to a server. So for example, if I want to book tickets to Mars or some other person wants to book tickets to Mars, everyone won't be able to access, right? If you have developed the code in your laptop and if you shut down, the page will be gone. So testing locally is great for early development, but if you want your app accessible 24 by 7, you need to deploy it to a server, whether it's a physical box, a virtual machine, or a cloud instance. It's not just about copying the code, your server needs the right environment and all the dependencies. Your laptop is your dev environment, but that server becomes your production home. Now, instead of just an IP address, you buy a domain and point it to your app, making it easy for everyone to find out. So, the next thing what you will do is you will launch it and move it on a cloud or VM. Now, the website will look like this. The IP address 170.13.10.5, something like that. Colon, for example, 90. But there should be a website, right? It should not be placed like IP address. I can't every time remember the IP address. So Google won't keep like this, right? It will be google.com every time. Like that, you want to keep it as slash slash marstickets.com. Like that, you have launched a page. So even for creating this, you need a same environment setup, same like your laptop, right? Now let's dive into the basic DevOps workflow, right? Okay. The next step is basic DevOps workflow. So you write code in your favorite editor like VS Code, Visual Studio Code, but your code into an executable using Python tools Maven or Gradle, deploy it to production. You'll use build scripts to streamline this, automated for speed and reliability. So you might have seen something like that. Dot slash build.sh or dot slash app. So these are the executables. We are deploying the executable to the production server. Okay. What is the next thing? Collaboration grows. Enter Git and GitHub. Git and GitHub. So as your site gets popular, you bring in more developers, but working together can get messy, especially when multiple people update the same files. This is where Git shines. Git lets your team pull, merge, and push changes smoothly, avoiding conflicts. GitHub, GitLab, and Bitbucket act as your collaboration hub, making version control and project management a breeze. The next thing is automation with CI/CD. Okay. So once your team starts pushing frequent updates, moving code manually is slow and error prone. Enter CI/CD pipelines. With tools like Jenkins, GitHub Actions, and GitLab CI/CD, you automate everything. Fetch code from your repo, build automatically, run tests, deploy to production with a single click. This means rapid delivery and quick feedback, keeping your software shape. So imagine this is the development, and we have few developers writing the code, and everyone will sorry, push the code to the git, and then from there, so first step is develop. The next step is this is build. The next step is test. Okay. The next step is production. Right? These are the steps. So how we are following? Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab CI/CD. Using these, we are doing the CI/CD pipeline. CI/CD, build, test, and then production. Okay, let's jump into the next one. The next one is containers. So let's talk about containers. Consistency everywhere. Even with automation, environment mismatch can cause trouble. Containers fix this by wrapping your app and its dependencies into a single portable image. Docker makes it super simple. Write a Docker file and build your image and run everywhere. For example, you have developed a Java application and you want it to run on my laptop. You have copied it in your pen drive and you are trying to run it, but it won't run, right? Because I don't have Java run environment, the prerequisite, or we can say the dependencies. I don't have on my machine. So what you will do, you will write a Docker file and you will build everything, all the dependencies along with that, and you will bring just that image and run it on my machine. it will run the same way how you ran on your laptop. Containers also provide isolation, so you can run lots of apps side by side, no interference. So example, I can write some code like vi docker file. Then a docker file will be opened. You will fill all the details. Then it write docker build -t example march ticket. Sorry for that. Yeah. Docker run -d -p port and then the app. Don't worry about the commands. I'll explain briefly one when we deep dive into each tool. This is how we run and build the Docker containers. Okay, now scaling up with Kubernetes. As demand grows, let me write that. Scaling up with Kubernetes. As demand grows, running containers across several servers manually is tough. Kubernetes automates everything. Start new containers as traffic surges, shut them down when it drops, and restart failed ones automatically. CI/CD pipelines build and push Docker images. Kubernetes deploys them, and all hands off. The next thing is infrastructure as code with Terraform. Manually setting up servers is hard and error prone. Terraform solves this by letting you define your infrastructure in code with simple manifests, spin up 3, 5, or 10 identical servers, all with a single command. Change your infrastructure with updates to your Terraform scripts, easy and repeatable. So that was about the Terraform infrastructure as a code with Terraform. The next tool is configuration management with Ansible. Sorry. Configuration management with Ansible. After provisioning servers, you need to configure software and tweak settings. This is where Ansible steps in. Write Ansible playbooks to automate post setup, install needed tools, and apply custom configs. Your infrastructure and configs are now version controlled and easy to update. The next one is monitor, analyze, improve with Prometheus and Grafana. Once everything is up and running, monitoring is vital. Prometheus collects metrics, CPU, memory, uptime, while Grafana turns the data into beautiful dashboards. You'll catch issues early and keep systems running smoothly. So from idea to fully automated, scalable and monitored deployment, DevOps brings together people, process and tools. So your software is reliable, efficient and always improving. Okay, this is the introduction I can say. If you want to deep dive into it, please continue to watch. So, and please subscribe to the channel. You'll get more updates on hands-on cloud and DevOps content. Let me know if you have any queries till now. We'll continue with each tool deep dive, the basics part, as this is a prerequisite. If you complete this, you can directly jump into any DevOps course or tool directly without knowing anything about the tool. You just need to finish this video. Thanks for watching. I'll continue with the rest of the part. So we are diving into Linux basics, a must-have skill set if you are working in DevOps or aiming to master cloud technologies. So why should we learn Linux? Whether you are new to technology or shifting from a Windows background, becoming comfortable with the Linux command line will supercharge your productivity. Most DevOps platforms, think Docker, Kubernetes, even Ansible, were designed for Linux first. Kubernetes masters only run on Linux, and Ansible requires a Linux control node. So, if you are pursuing cloud certifications or planning a DevOps career, solid Linux skills are non negotiable. So Linux gives you both graphical and command line interfaces, but when you are managing servers, especially remotely, the CLI is your best friend. There are multiple shells, but most popular ones are sh, bash, zsh, csh, and others. All right. So sh, this is a classic Bourne shell. Bash is born again shell loaded with features. This is born shell. This is born again shell. So to check your active shell, just type echo shell. You can open any Linux machine, virtual Linux machine, or you can create one instance in AWS Cloud. That way you can practice. Okay, now this is the terminal. Command is echo shell. So here this is bin bash, which is born again shell. So this command is used to check your active shell, and if you want to print anything or see the value of a variable, echo hello world. So if you see hello world is printed, and if you want to print the variable value, just give home. So here it is /root. And top Linux commands everyone should know. I have made a separate video on this channel as well. Let's go through the real essentials of managing files and directories. Echo will print the text. So if you print echo hi, it will print hi. So this will print the text. The next one is ls. This will list directory contents. So here nothing is there, hence it is not showing anything. cd is for change directory. cd to any directory. This is how big. And then pwd. This will show the current directory. mkdir. This will make new directory. rm, it will remove files or folders. This way we can remove. Here there is no file.txt, that's why. And then cp, this is for copying the files and directories. For example, if you want to copy it to new file.txt, it is not present, hence this error is showing, else it will show. The next thing is mv. mv is for move or rename. If you want file.txt to be renamed as file underscore updated .txt. So this file name will be changed to this, and then touch command. This will create an empty file. So if you see ls, here myfile.txt is present. You can even run several commands in a single line, like mkdir project cd project touch test.sh. It has created, if you see ls, so it has created a project directory and then we went inside this by changing the directory, and then we have created test.sh. The semicolon separates commands very efficiently. To make nested directories all at once, mkdir -p devops data data enthusiast error. Enter. If you cd to DevOps, you will see data. If you go inside data, there will be enthusiast. If you go inside enthusiast, there will be error. So this is for nested directory created all at once. And to delete a directory with everything in it, rm-rf devops. Okay, we were inside this. 3 steps back I came, and rm-rf devops. If you see now, there is no directory as DevOps. So if you want to create a new file, example.txt, it will create an empty file. Now add the content to it. Echo hello all. Please subscribe to my channel. And if you redirect it to example.txt, it copied whatever is present here inside the directory. You can validate by cat example.txt. You can see whatever we have entered, it came here. Now if you want to enter something, vi for example index.html, press I. So by default it will be in the command line mode. If you want to go into the insert mode, press I. Then only you will be able to type something. If you want to save, press escape colon W for saving, colon Q is for quitting. But if you give W and Q to save and quit, you see at index.html, it has printed. Now if again I'm opening, so in the command line mode, if you want to delete a character, there are two ends, right? I want to delete both. I'm pressing X on the keyboard. It got cleared. If I want to clear the line, press DD. And then if I want to copy line, YY. For example, this is there. Escape. Now if I want to copy, YY. And then if I want to paste, P. So if you see, both the lines are same. If I want to search something, FN, wherever it's there, it will show. If you press N, it will go to the next. So the more you practice, the faster you will be. Just coming out of this. The next thing is user management and sudo. To see your current username, who am I? It is root user. So if you want detailed info, press ID. Now if I want to switch, sudo Anusha. User is not there, but if I give this, I can switch. And if you want to use sudo for admin commands, sudo yum update. Yum not found. That means try apt. So this will update all the existing packages. So if you are getting a permission error, if you run this, prefix your command with sudo to run as an administrator, much safer than logging into the directly as a root user. How do you download something? curl-o and then https:// the directory ruby.com or any website /file.txt, and even you can use wget, that URL. So if you see, I think that page is that there. So it has downloaded. Now check the Linux version. Cat etc star release star. So if you see, this is Ubuntu 24.0.7. Sorry, it's 04.1. Package management, RPM and yum. On Red Hat, CentOS, Fedora, that will be simple. Install .rpm files with rpm-i and that package name, package.rpm. If you want to remove, you can replace I with E. And if you want to view the information, rpm-q package. But rpm doesn't resolve the dependencies, so use yum. You can use yum install nginx, same way apt install nginx. It will prompt whether you want to continue. Why means it's yes. And even you can check apt list available, listing done, apt remove nginx, press y. Yum show duplicates if you want to show any duplicates. Sudo systemctl enable httpd. if you want to enable, and if you want to start, you just give start instead of enable. And if you want to check the status, that means whether it is up or not, by using this command. If you want to set up by your own Python server as a service, create a systemd service vibe in etc systemd system service, reload the systemd, and you can start, stop, and enable just like any built-in tool. So this is all about Linux, and we can see some practice sessions. So the first question is, how many directories and files are present in home Thor directory? So first check where we are. Home Thor. We were already under home Thor. Now we just need to change directory to test underscore dir. Now if you do pwd, the same directory, right? Now do ls. Now if you do ls, we don't exactly understand whether it's a text file or a directory. Even here the names were given perfectly, but still we have one more command, ls-lrt. So here if you see at the starting there is d. D means directory, and if it's empty it's a file. So here we have three directories. That means either this one or this one is right. Now how many files are there? Three files are there. So three directories, three files. Correct. Which text file is not present under home test directory? We were currently in that path. If you check test file 3.txt, it's not there. Let's check other options. Test underscore file 2.txt, it's there. File 1.txt, it's there. File 4 is also there. So that means which one is not present? This one. Create an empty file inside this directory. File name is this. How to create? Touch empty underscore file dot txt. Permission issue. Now do sudo. Sudo, same command. Sudo will make you as an administrator, we can say. You are running commands using the administrator. So now the file is created. Do ls. Yes, it is created. Check. It's not there. So mistakenly we have created under test directory, but it should be under Thor, right? So easiest way is mv. We are moving. That means in Windows it is cut. For renaming also we will use the same thing. So move this file to // means one directory before. That means it will go here. Enter. Okay. Sudo. Enter. Right. If you see it's not here, and if you go one step back, here you will see this one. Now if you click on check, it is working. Next, create file with content inside this. Since it is a single line, we can do echo double quotes. This is not empty file. Now just we are redirecting it to contents underscore file dot txt. If you see by using cat, it is print. Create an empty directory inside home tor directory. Empty directory for that command is mkdir for creating a directory, and then the file directory name should be empty underscore dir. If you do ls, it's created. Check, click next. Create a directory. Okay. Create a directory hierarchy inside home tor directory. Directory hierarchy is this. So what you can do, mkdir -p. You can give this as well, no harm. Asia, after that India, after that Bangalore. Got created. Click check. Got created. Copy target file to target directory. Copy cp home tor. For example, if you want, if it's already existing, just type t and tab. If you press tab, it will fill the remaining ones. Asia, Bangalore txt to home tor Asia, India, Bangalore. Check. It's done. Click next. Copy source directory to target location. Source directory. What is the default editor configured in lab? So the answer is vim. What is the command for the vim text editor to open a file? vi or vim? What are the operation modes in vi editor? Operation modes, last line, command mode, insert mode, all are correct. What is the default mode of the editor after opening the file by vi editor? Default mode will be command mode. Identify the wrong statement while switching operations. Press escape to switch to command mode from insert or last line mode. This is correct. Type lowercase I to switch between command mode to insert mode. This is correct. Press colon to switch between command mode to last line mode. This is correct. Press capital T to switch to insert mode from command mode. This is wrong. Okay, they are asking wrong statement. Yeah. Identify the correct statement from the below exit commands. Colon W, save and continue editing. WQ, save and quit exit VI. Quit VI and do not save changes queue. All are correct. Task 1. Open a file. So let's follow this rules. Let's open a file vi cloud.txt and an editor will be in default operation mode, which is the command mode. Press lowercase I and enter into insert mode. Type hello world. Save this. So what we did for saving, colon WQ exclamation, right? Click OK. It's done. What is the command to copy a line in VI editor? Copy is YY. Identify the wrong statement for commands we use. DD highlight a line. I think this is wrong. X is delete a letter. It is correct. P paste a line. Correct. YY copy a line. So this. Identify the option with the correct actions matched to the command in the VI editor. Let's check. U is undo the change. Control R redo the change. Control Y redo the change. Control X undo the change. Okay. What to do? U undo the change. Control R redo the change. Control Y. This one is wrong and this one is wrong. A and B are correct. Open the file located at home bob testfile.txt vi editor, then move the line correctly located at number 9 to position it at number 5. Content moved in the fifth line is changed. Content in ninth line is changed. So you open, you press D3D. Okay, it's not going. D3D. Yeah, that's right. It went. So D3D, if you press, it will delete the first 3 lines. If you give D5D, first 5 lines will be gone. And the lab session. Which user is current user on host 01 server? Which user is current user on host 01 server? How would you check that? Who am I? So it is Thor. What is the ID of Thor user? What is the ID of Thor user? Do you know what is the ID of Thor user? Which command? It's ID. So the ID is 1001. It's like a roll number, you can say. So user ID. Which command you will use to switch to Ansible user? This one. Su Ansible. Which command you will use to log into other server with the IP? this one, and Thor user. Thor. Think Thor. You'll use to log in. Use to log in means SSH. This one. By using this command, you can switch as different user and log in as that user into a different machine. Which of the following file is present under /root directory? Normal user don't have permission to view files under /root directory, so you will have to gain higher privileges to see the files under /root. So cd/root, permission denied. Maybe try sudo cd/root ls. Nothing is there. What the permissions issue? You can do one thing, sudo I'll be logged in as root user. Now cd/root ls. So if you see which of the following file, this file is present, it's there. Root.env, it's not there. Ansible file, not there. Root_conf, it's not there. Select this. Which command can't be used to download file over internet? Try, I think ping. Yeah. Let's check 3 more questions. Download target file to host 01. Target name is this target file and the target directory. So what is the command? We are already on host 01. Now let's exit this. Now we are Thor again. Sudo wget, copy this URL, paste it here. Okay, now do pwd ls. So that file got downloaded. Next, where can you find OS information of Linux servers? Where can you find etc *release? Which OS is running on host 1 server? We can run cat etc *. Means anything can be there. Release * and so if you see it is CentOS. Which version of CentOS is running on host 1 server? Which version of CentOS is running on host 1 server? So if you see the version here, we are unable to find, I think. So, what is the full form of RPM in Linux environment? It's Red Hat Package Manager. Which of the following RPM is installed on host 1? Is not installed. How we can check that? By running rpm-qa. We'll get to know what are running. So if you see, the easiest way is give telnet. So telnet is available. Let's try open star. So everything with open will show here. Open ssh hyphen server. This one. It's there. Now if you give Ansible, so this is not installed. The last one also you can check. QA Python 3. This was installed. Install FTP with RPM. We have downloaded RPM file under OPT. As RPM modifies system packages, it requires root privileges. So if you see ls, this file was downloaded here. Can give rpm-9 slash opt and this RPM file. Permission denied. Sudo. Run the same command enter. Check. It's done. Remove FTP with RPM. You can get exact package name by running this. Copy, paste. Exact name is here. rpm-e slash opt ftp. It's not installed. Then remove this and search. We have to run with this, right? Sudo. Done. Install Maven with yum. As yum modifies system packages, it requires root privileges. Yum pulls from the official CentOS system repositories, stream repositories. These repositories prioritize stability over recency. Hence, they stick with a well-tested enterprise safe version. Install Maven with yum. So sudo yum install Maven. So it is first updating the dependent packages. Is this okay? Press Y and click check. It's done. Which version of Maven is installed with yum on host 01 server in previous step? Ignore approach version number. maven hyphen hyphen version. Command not found. Then we can try one more command, which is mvn hyphen hyphen version. So if you see 3.6.3, which one is 3.6.3? This one. Remove maven with yum as we will install lower version in next step. Yum remove maven, and we need to run with sudo privileges. Press Y. It's complete. Check. It's done. The last one, install maven with yum this version. Let's try that. Sudo yum install. Copy this. If you need this version, copy, paste, enter. Press Y. It's complete. Check. It's done. Click next. So this is about the services. Which of the following is not valid systemctl command? Not a valid systemctl command should be this one, because systemctl then always status or stop or start and then the application. So this one. What is the status of HTTPD service? We have pre-installed status HTTPD Apache package, which is used for hosting web server. Don't forget to use sudo systemctl status HTTPD. So it is showing disabled and inactive dead. So this one. Let's start HTTPD service so that our host 01 can act as web server. We have pre-installed HTTPD Apache package, which is used for hosting web server. Don't forget to make use of sudo command. I just pressed Q. Please start. So the same command, but here instead of status, it will be start. Enter. Now if you check the status again, it is showing active and running. Next, we have to enable HTTPD service so that it starts automatically when system boots up and we don't need to manually start. So for that, instead of this, we just need to provide enable. Check. Next. Now we decided to use dedicated Python Flask app instead of Apache. So please stop HTTPD service. So instead of enable, we just need to provide stop. Check. Next. Now we have to disable HTTPD service so that it doesn't start automatically when system boots up. Disable. Check. It's done. Code is an amazing platform where we have multiple labs and yearly it comes with a price, but it's worth to invest in. We have added a new Python Flask based service called app in which system unit it is configured. Okay, I think this one. Let's try. Okay, we will get to know by running this status. If you see this one, is it this one? Next, what is the status of app service? Disabled, inactive, dead. Get the service configuration file, systemd unit file, and identify which script is run before the app starts. Can just do this cat, and here if you see before the app starts, think this one configure db, let's check this one. Correct. Which script is done after app starts, which is post email status. Now let's start app on host 1 as Flask. Sudo systemctl start app. Check, it's done. Click next. Now we have to enable app so that it starts automatically when system boots up and we don't need to manually start the service. Okay, for this one, please comment in our comment section. See you all in the next one. This is all about DevOps prerequisite Linux basics. We will come with another tool as a prerequisite and I'll keep updating. Please subscribe to my channel, like, share, subscribe, and comment if you have any queries. Thanks for watching.